All right. I hope that y'all can hear me. Um, hmm, I think this should be all right the way that it is. Maybe not. Yeah, my ring light is doing some funny stuff, but nonetheless, welcome to everybody who is watching. I know I was supposed to be doing this yesterday. My sincerest apologies. Uh, Denzel's moved to a new spot, and we were trying to get internet set up and all of that other stuff. But yeah, I'm here this morning. This might even work better for a lot of you. You're probably lazily laying in bed. Not really lazily. I'm sure that all of you have worked very hard this week, and hopefully, whether this is about 15 minutes to an hour, it'll be some fun time for you all. Uh, I feel like you guys probably already know more than enough about me, not only because Denzel posts so many videos about extroverted feelings of function and clarifying what extroverted feeling is and stuff like that, but also because I had a tendency in my intro video to over explain who I am. So I think that I would really be interested in seeing what questions that you guys might have, if any questions at all, or if you have any comments to make for me to, have commentary on. And of course, if nobody does, then that's 100% fine. And we will just, move on with the next function. I'm sure that a lot of people are really mainly anticipating TI's Q&A video. TI is not really anticipating it, but at the same time, TI seems very excited for it at the same time. I don't know. I guess he doesn't really know what to expect. Um, but yeah, for me, I'm extroverted feeling. Currently trying to think of what I haven't already said in the video that was posted. Um, I think that usually, kind of like what FI did, pretty much tried to fill in the blanks that they didn't really put into the video. But for me, I feel like I already explained everything, and I feel like Denzel already explains a lot, and I don't want to be even more redundant than I already am. Um, but I am also thinking. So I will say that something that has been interesting to me, as I see uh, different um, different individuals uh, kind of like wield me as a function is we can be we can be quite assertive, maybe even sometimes a little bit seemingly forceful, uh, because we really strongly feel like we know what is right and what is best for everybody. Um, and so I think the reason why I keep on mentioning the somewhat negative aspects of me as a function is because as a function, we usually get painted in such a very positive light. However, I do think that there is a little bit more balance than we might assume because there's so much hate that also goes on me as a function, and it's really interesting because I I I honestly do really just want to like help people and unite people and bring people together. Um, but yeah, there are so many ways that I can show up at times. Like in many people, it's simply getting us all together to believe in one societal cause. So like be underneath like one societal rule, deciding like what is appropriate in our social circle and what is not appropriate in our social circle. And then there's others who use me to simply host people, to make people feel comfortable, to make people feel like there's an open enough amount of space to be able to share all of their thoughts and opinions. Um, that way, we can calibrate them, which is where, TI comes in. Because TI usually will not speak unless if healthy FE is there. Now, TI will also usually not speak if unhealthy or even sometimes average FE is here. Because sometimes I can show up as a too much of a censor for TI. And FI can feel suffocated by me. I'm sorry about that. Because, FI might want to really push forward with, what they feel and stuff like that, which FI actually did mention in their video. But for me, uh, I really do just prioritize. I prioritize mm, well, I prioritize the group's needs. I prioritize making sure that whatever decision is made, it's not that I don't care about the one person who does not want to do the thing that the rest of the group wants to do. I really do care, but what am I supposed to do in that situation, And then when it comes to TI, sometimes there's just certain opinions that really should not be said or not be handled. Like if we're all at Thanksgiving dinner table, then I don't see why that should be an appropriate context to bring up whether or not we're voting for Biden or Trump. And if somebody is voting for the opposite person, whether it's hostile or not, like why do we have to talk about that? Why not just continue to discuss things that, will further bring unity? But yeah, that's those are some of the things that I guess like people can get really like annoyed with me for. But when I'm at my best, I actually feel like I do very well with knowing when to censor, how much to censor, and how much to bring forward, and allow for people to actually like speak what their true thoughts and opinions on a matter might be. Um, So yeah, that's just some fun facts. And then I also see that, another aspect of FE that's not really often talked about. Um, but I see that Denzel seems to be like one of the main people who talks about it. Uh, it's intimacy. Now, it's not to say that if you don't have FE, then you're not able to uh, form intimacy. But uh, I really do believe that FE users, um, they focus on the connections between people, strengthening those connections between people, and then when they're on a very high level, then they try to even deepen those connections. So you have to like create a space where you are open enough to where everybody feels open enough to share. And then when you create a space for everybody to feel open enough to share, then you also now have a great spot of soil for intimacy to be fostered. So yeah, I think that's one of the main things. And I'll be right back because the cat is trying to get into food that, even though it wants it, it's not going to be good for it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I'm going to answer what Tori said here. She said, first off, hi, Tori. I appreciate the assertive side to FE. As an extroverted judging function, it makes sense. You guys always give the best advice when trying to handle social miscommunications. Much love. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that it's really highly necessary because there there is so much. People see FE as such a soft function at times, and there's a level of softness that needs to be taken to keep things, because FE is trying to disarm, you know? The moment sometimes I think, and this isn't any offense to TE, but sometimes I think that sometimes when TE is trying to handle certain situations, um, it can actually raise defensiveness, you know? So there's a difference between somebody respecting you versus somebody just fearing you. And, sometimes, like, I guess it's kind of like parenting a little bit, where you're just yelling at your child, like the father who just comes in and yells at the child, and like the child is not going to act up around the father, but the child is going to resent the father, and the child is pretty much just going to, it's not really actually resolving the problem, versus the father who is still firm, but also like sitting down to get into, like, hey, do you know why I really don't want you doing this, and I'm actually trying to look out for you, and this that, so please stop, or else I'm going to have to go to further measures of punishment and stuff like that. And then the child is really able to understand like what's going on. That takes more effort, that takes more patience, but that's actually not putting a band-aid on the thing. Now, FE is guilty of putting band-aids on things too. So that's not to say that, FE always has the monopoly on how to handle such situations. But I do think that FE at its finest knows to in order to really diffuse certain situations, you have to be capable of understanding how to disarm the people that are involved. And when I say disarm, I mean that I really try to make sure that I leave no room for anybody to be like, well, that wasn't me, or, oh, so you're trying to insult me in this, like any type of, defensiveness. Like, we'll just cut that out, because right now we're just focused on understanding. And if we can both understand each other, and we're both rational human beings, then we're both going to also stop whatever silly behavior that we are now indulging in. Um, so, yeah, thank you, Tori. Um, Silly cats always up to no good. Yeah, Denzel's cat's just very bored sometimes in this new home. Um, that's a whole other issue. Do you have anything to say, Ari? We get along, don't we, Airs? Don't we, Airs? Well, anyway, like I said, kind of like the TE video, I suppose. It's funny because TE always tries to keep things very concise. Uh, we all knew that TE was not really going to have too much to say. It's a very straightforward function. Not to say that, it's lacking depth or anything like that. That's not the case at all. But TE just really knows how to present what is necessary to present. And if you ask more questions, it's going to give you more questions. Me, I tend to over present, over talk and stuff. But the good news about that is, like, now here on this Q&A, I don't think that anybody really has many more questions. So I just wanted to give it some time. And yeah, but for all of those who did tune in, I suppose, I guess going once, going twice. Uh, yeah, thanks. If you haven't been watching the other videos, then be prepared for that. they are going to be quite interesting, especially now that Denzel's like, getting all rested or situated in the home, finding out the best place to record, getting the Wi-Fi is so much slower here. So we're trying to get that like changed. Interesting. Yep. As soon as I said that about the Wi-Fi, then that's what happened. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind too. Um, okay. Well, thank everybody for tuning in, and for those who are going to be watching post live stream, be on lookout for NE and Tori. Thank you. I still have to go back and watch the videos. Then I may have more questions. There goes your internet. It's listening. Yeah, I think that I should have done a better job disarming the internet. It's getting a little bit defensive because I guess it knows that we are looking for a replacement. But it's no offense to the internet. Anyway, and I'm not Denzel. I'm a part of him though. But anyway, thanks, Tori. And for everybody who's watching, um, like I said, I understand. I feel like I'm the most talked about function on this channel. So I wasn't really expecting too much traction. And I said so much in my video. So I feel like I pretty much covered everything, which is usually the goal. I try to say so much to where, and I anticipate what people might be asking questions for later. So yeah, but okay, I'm rambling now. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.